At the first alarm, a baboon sprints for cover. Behind it, a lion turns panic into dust. The troop scatters, mothers carrying young through danger. On the slope, numbers become their best defense. The chase spills across a harsh, open homeland, yet greener valleys offer food, water, and risk. Lions remain close, patrolling the troops' feeding grounds. So every drink begins with watching the margins. Moving through grass, they rely on constant signals. When a male turns, the hunter loses momentum. For lions too, dominant shapes what happens next. A kill nearby shows what their power can take. The pride regroups, each member ready for advantage. As the sun falls, danger starts to change shape. From above, paths reveal how life avoids danger. Within the troop, grooming steadies anxious bonds. A high branch turns fear into early warning. Back below, confidence returns only in brief moments. Feeding safely means staying close to cover. Across the water, herds gather under shared risk. A male lion watches, claiming space without moving. The water hoe forces many species into an easy tolerance. A cub practices the speed its future will demand. A mother keeps her infant pressed against cover. When open ground calls, the troop moves as one. Sunset softens the land, but not its dangers. A watchful face holds the memory of flight. Near elephants, small primates gain a temporary shield. For the infant, survival begins with milk and grip. Rocky shade gives baboons a safer resting ledge. Around fallen wood, they check every approach to water. On the road, order keeps the family together. Impala nearby add more eyes to the warning system. Mixed company widens alarm across the woodland edge. One sentinel climbs, turning height into information. Among elephants, caution is still the smaller animal's law. One baboon pauses, letting caution lead the next move. Through the undergrowth, concealment gives another margin. Where antelope feed, hidden predators remain possible. One stare can signal unrest before a chase. Alarm surges, and even the antelopes scatter. Crossing open ground leaves no room for mistakes. Brush becomes the troop's shelter, an escape route. Elephants return, reshaping who can safely drink. Antelope hold still, borrowing warnings from every neighbor. Even lions must lower their guard to drink. Giraffes scan from heights baboons can only borrow. The pride rests, storing power for another chance. At the bank, baboons drink quickly between glances. Impala stepping carefully, never trusting stillness. Here, water gives life and exposes everyone. A branch above the pool becomes strategic refuge. A crocodile waits where thirst brings the careless. High in the tree, distance becomes protection. Each climb is instinct, learned before danger arrives. A close watcher reads movement before it becomes danger. On the ground, one baboon weighs its route. Her focus keeps the whole troop under pressure. In long grass, hunters disappear into the landscape. Ancient trees make every shadow worth reading. A male lion oversees this balance of fear. When lions move on, the tension stays behind. At the water's edge, jackals test the boundary. Open plains offer grazing, but little forgiveness. A lion's patience shows hunger can wait. Buffalo numbers make a hunt far more costly. Their herd closes ranks, muscle replacing speed. Hippos guard water with blunt, immovable force. In grass, stillness may hide the next pursuit. The pride advances slowly, saving strength for impact. Vultures wait above, reading opportunity from weakness. Again, elephants reshape the smaller animals' choices. Baboons forage beside giants, using size as shelter. Staying close lowers the price of exposure. From rock, a sentinel measures the open plain. Sunset returns, and night rewrites every rule. Near elephants, the troop finds a brief refuge. Along the road, discipline holds the family line. Antelope pause in shade, listening beyond sight. Farther out, cheetahs bring a different kind of threat. Mothers keep cubs low, conserving energy for survival. Their eyes measure distance before speed is spent. Walrus spread out, making weakness harder to isolate. When they run, confusion becomes collective defense. For cubs, stillness is their earliest lesson. Vultures wait, because every chase may feed them. The cheetah watches, balancing hunger against risk. In wetlands, birds exploit shallows with lighter danger. The baboons return to water, because thirst allows no delay. Each approach is tested before bodies commit. Crossing compresses fear into a few vulnerable seconds. Evening closes over the river, and its hunters. Alone, a baboon listens as darkness shifts power. A rocky height offers warning, not certainty. The cliffs widen the drama of survival below. A hyena appears, built to search the night. In darkness, scent leads where sight fails. A sudden clash shows defense can turn fierce. Back above ground, height buys one more chance. The hunter searches below, but patience has limits. From steep refuge, the world briefly feels safer. Dawn draws baboons back to the exposed bank. Elephants arrive again, changing the risk around them. Grooming repairs bonds after a dangerous night. Vultures gather where loss has already happened. Scavengers return nutrients to the living plain. Nearby animals read the gathering as a warning. Buffalo mass together, strength built from any bodies. Their herd spreads where grass can hide danger. From above, numbers flow like a living current. Heavyweights share the land, each with its own defenses. Elephants move on, carrying memory through the grass. A rhino browses alone, armored, but never careless. At dusk, even giants become cautious silhouettes. Birds rise over water, tracing abundance from above, and the plain keeps moving, watchful and alive. Across the open plain, running herds turn grass into dust. From above, their movement reveals abundance stretched across dry country. At the river, a crocodile waits where thirst creates opportunity. Still water hides several hunters, sharing the same narrow margin. Its ancient armor is built for patience and sudden force. Even turbulence suits a predator shaped for ambush. Beneath the surface, danger can travel with hardly a sign. Crossing animals hurry, because hesitation gives water predators time. Nearby, lions read the commotion as another possible opening. In the herd's crush, strength becomes protection against attack. A male lion waits, conserving power for the cooler hours. Thirst lowers even his authority to the muddy edge. Above him, baboons stay mobile, watching ground and branches. His gaze holds the territory, but patience saves energy. Around the pride, rest is part of survival's rhythm. Baboons share the trees, using height to reduce risk. From the air, watercourses explain why life gathers here. In cover, a lioness moves lightly through patchy shade. Her search continues, guided by scent, sound, and memory. The male remains close, a visible claim on this refuge. While the grass swallows her, stealth replaces open strength. Young baboons practice climbing, testing balance above danger. Grooming settles the troop, turning touch into trust. Every watchful face helps the group detect trouble early. The male lion's stare keeps pressure on every neighbor. He drinks again, revealing how water makes rulers vulnerable. A lioness lowers herself, cautious at the exposed bank. Her eyes keep working, even while her body rests. In the den's shade, cubs wait for adult success. Beyond them, dry scrub shows how scattered resources shape movement. Among baboons, grooming reinforces rank as much as comfort. In deeper shade, the troop shelters from heat and hunters. On bare rock, they travel together across exposed ground. Staying close reduces the danger of being singled out. The open land offers space, but little forgiveness. A lioness crosses it, measuring cover against distance. The pride's male waits in shade, heat ruling his pace. His mane signals strength, yet makes cooling harder. A cub watches from shelter, born into shared dependence. Resting young lions save energy, while the adults patrol. Nearby antelope feed carefully, always ready to break away. The male tolerates cubs, protection balanced against hunger. As females move together, the pride's future follows. A young male studies the grass, learning when to move. Close contact keeps lionesses coordinated before the next hunt. Cubs remain tucked beside them, safer within the group. A mother's grooming calms them and binds the family. Wetlands interrupt the dry plain, concentrating movement and risk. The male surveys that mosaic, listening more than moving. His authority depends on conserving strength until it matters. In the heat, even dominance must wait quietly. Shade becomes a strategy, not simply a place to sleep. Through broken scrub, he follows pathways marked by scent. Each step renews boundaries other males are meant to respect. His face carries scars from a lifetime of challenges. On open ground, he makes that ownership visible. Walking toward rivals, he advertises confidence without rushing. In thicker grass, scent and sound guide the patrol. For now, the territory settles back into watchful calm. A baboon sentinel holds the road's edge, alert and upright. Its vantage links the troop to danger below. Another baboon moves on, keeping pace with the group. The lion's patrol passes near, forcing every neighbor to stay attentive. The sentinel pauses, weighing distance before choosing safety. Lionesses move as a line, turning teamwork into pressure. The baboon's close watch reminds predators they are seen. High above, a lookout can warn before panic spreads. Elsewhere, a leopard waits in timber-bed shade. Rhinoceroses push through dust, armored yet still sensitive. Hippos erupt from water, strength exploding without warning. Herds keep moving, chased more by tension than certainty. A leopard launches upward, turning trees into hunting lanes. Lions drag their prize from water, where struggle costs strength. At sunset, grazing animals stand where visibility is fading. A zebra fights the river, but crocodiles own this moment. Lonely trees mark the plain, landmarks in a hard season. A lioness ghosts through grass, hidden by her tawny coat. She tests the herd's spacing, searching for one weakness. Prey gather at water, where thirst compresses their choices. She advances beside them, counting on confusion and cover. Low in grass, her patience tightens the distance. The dry horizon shows why water has become everything. In shrinking pools, hippos crowd together for protection. Crocodiles hold the bank, waiting for mistakes at the edge. Antelope drink in numbers, because many eyes by seconds. Others stand back, reading alarms before they commit. Hippos press together, their bodies turning water into shelter. The woodland beyond keeps predators hidden until too late. A lioness slips between open ground and cover. Antelope scatter, every burst of speed buying life. At the far bank, smaller scavengers track the commotion. Dust marks the escape routes around the water hoe. A young hyena watches, already alert to opportunity. The lioness continues, but pursuit now demands precision. Feeding begins in cover, where competition will soon arrive. A hyena crosses the plain, drawn by scent and sound. Around the river, hippos reclaim the crowded shallows. Some rest on mud, conserving moisture under harsh sun. Their exposed skin depends on water to endure daylight. Above them, heat and cloud begin reshaping the afternoon. A hippo charges through water, display replacing actual combat. Submerged nostrils and eyes keep watch, while bodies cool. In the canopy, a leopard holds a quieter advantage. An elephant feeds nearby, relying on size and memory. Hippos below doze in bulk, hard to dislodge. The riverbank remains crowded, noisy, and dangerously close. Above it all, the leopard rests where branches fork. Antelope pass beneath, trusting brush to mask their movement. Stillness preserves the cat's surprise better than pursuit. Below, prey shift through scrub, never knowing every watcher. The leopard keeps the high ground, patient and concealed. A sudden rush below sends dust through the trees. The woodland settles again, storing danger in its shadows. At last, the leopard sleeps above the restless plain. But even at rest, its chosen perch remains strategy. Below the canopy, prey still move through watched cover. Here, camouflage lets the hunt across almost unseen. As the day fades, the valley's hunters begin to stir. Even before nightfall, the balance of risk shifts. A lion's roar announces a different kind of power. Nearby, the pride gathers beneath the last warm light. His patrol turns scent and presence into ownership. But shade keeps the pride patient until opportunity moves. Baboons forage below, alert to every hidden approach. On the plain, zebras rely on distance and many eyes. Mixed herds spread vigilance across the dry gathering ground. Then movement ripples outward. Warning passes through the herd. At water's edge, scavengers wait for the river's leftovers, where flood debris collects. Life and death meet. For lions, open ground demands teamwork and timing. After effort, a meal must be guarded quickly. The pride melts back into grass with its prize. Beyond the cats, heavy grazers reshape the clearing. Now the story widens to the valley's largest travelers. Their journeys follow memory, shade, and the promise of water. In open heat, every step conserves precious energy. Families keep formation, guiding the young through cover. Tusks and trunks test a world shaped by scarcity. Experience shows in every wrinkle, every cautious pause. Even giants depend on concealment when the bush tightens. At the river, thirst briefly gathers distant paths together. Calves stay tucked within a shield of adults. Those on the edge move carefully through thorn and dust. From above, their roots trace old knowledge through woodland. A lone adult feeds apart, yet remains shaped by memory. Across greener ground, the herd tests each new feeding place. On the track, size alone secures the right of way. Young elephants learn by staying close to practice bodies. Each small trunk practices the skill survival will require. The matriarch's attention keeps the family moving as one. Water holds them there, but only for a while. In deeper channels, heavy bodies cool and regroup. Then the shore offers one last drink before departure. Together, they carry the youngest through uneven ground. Above them, baboons claim safe for watchposts over the floodplain. Height turns a branch into an early warning system. From there, every rustle below can be judged. On the ground, feeding demands sharper nerves. The troop moves in ranks, never entirely at ease. Dry riverbanks link feeding grounds with quick escape routes, but tall grass shortens warning and tightens the troop. This valley sits within Zambia's wild South Luangwa, a protected corridor where the river decides everything. Along its banks, water gathers bodies in extraordinary numbers. As light drops, silhouettes reveal the river's constant traffic. For people here, reading signs is also survival. Buffalo keep their young inside a living wall. The leopard still threads cover around their heavier strength. Its advantage is not size, but silence and timing. Against buffalo, even stealth must respect collective power. Birds follow the herd, taking insects flushed from grass, heads lower to feed, but horns stay ready. At the margins, one bull listens before stepping out. A buffalo's comm can change instantly into defense, so the herd moves as one dark, watchful mass. At water, their numbers become both shield and pressure. Tall grass hides bodies, but not the sweep of horns. Rival faces hold their ground before either gives way. When thirst peaks, the bank becomes controlled congestion. Each animal presses forward, trusting momentum and company. In the channel, weight steadies them against the current. A straggler pauses, exposed without the herd's full guard. Even the young carry the herd's wary inheritance. That heavy stare is a warning backed by muscle. Together, adults close ranks around smaller bodies. Alarm spreads quickly when several leaders read danger. Then the herd reforms, its caution flowing back together. Above the herd, raptors wait for a different opening. Their economy's patience, holding energy until certainty. Every perch becomes a survey point over the valley. A hooked beak and sharp eyes define its trade. Up close, the hunter seems built from precision. Pairs share watchtowers, where thermals and prey converge. From dead wood, one bird keeps the ground in view. Below, mud exposes smaller meals for smaller hunters. The river edge turns scraps of movement into opportunity. Back above, the raptor waits for clean air. Its attention stays locked on whatever the canopy hides. Leaves offer shade, but the search continues through them. Then broader wings take the hunt into open air. Flight lets the river be searched without entering it. Below, hippos surface where water becomes shared territory. Birds exploit those backs, feeding safely above the churn. For hippos, water is refuge more than escape. But feeding pulls them onto land before night. Beneath the surface, their power shows as turbulence. Crowded bodies turn the channel into a social arena. Each head rises just enough to breathe and watch. Submerged bulk allows rest, while danger stays monitored. When space tightens, a yawn becomes a threat. Around them, the pod drifts, but never truly disperses. Only nostrils and eyes betray the bodies below. The group holds its positions through small, constant adjustments. Across the wetland, grazing and resting overlap. Sandbanks provide relief when the river grows crowded. Those near the edge keep land within reach. Mud cools skin, while the group conserves energy. A living island rises, carrying weeds like armor. From above, the pod's density reveals the river's value. Beyond them, quieter margins invite more delicate feeders. Long-legged birds work where shallow water exposes prey. Together, waders sweep the edges with measured steps. A sensitive bill probes what the eye cannot see. Perched above water, balance buys a better angle. Along the far bank, patience becomes a feeding strategy. Dark wings spread to dry before the next search. The colony gathers where fish and safety coincide. Each careful step tests mud for a hidden movement. Then the bill snaps down the instant water shifts. Among roots and reeds, another hunter works the shallows. One final strike turns mud into a meal. The wetlands hunters return to trees above the river. Their long bills probe shallows where fish still gather. As water falls, exposed banks become crowded feeding grounds. But the same open sand also invites patient crocodiles. Away from the river, a leopard works the dry cover. It climbs for height, scent, and a clearer route. From the branch, it reads the grassland before moving. Back on the ground, camouflage begins to do the hunting. Low through scrub, the cat keeps every step measured. Dry stems break its outline before prey can focus. A pause lets its ears test the hidden distance. Then attention hardens, and the stalk gathers purpose. Nearby, baboons feel the pressure long before seeing it. Their safety comes from any eyes searching together. One raised pasture can send warning through the troop. Even feeding, they keep escape routes within reach. On open ground, every crossing demands shared caution, so the group uses cover as a moving shield. A dominant male holds watch where danger may appear, and above him, branches offer the quickest retreat. High perches turn vigilance into a wider view. From there, the troop can feed without dropping guard. Youngsters follow the adults, learning caution by imitation. The line moves on before the cat gets close. Out on the flats, antelope gather where eyes multiply. The leopard waits low, choosing patience over speed. Each crouched step keeps the stalk alive. Spotted fur dissolves against shadow, stem, and dust. Now the hunt depends on distance closing unseen. It threads the thickets, looking for one costly mistake. The herd feeds on, protected mainly by numbers. Shade gathers grazers, but also shortens escape lanes. On open ground, cheetahs shift to a different strategy. They trade concealment for speed and perfect timing. A lioness moves heavier, saving strength for impact. Her gaze alone changes how prey use the plain. Above the river, a fish eagle takes the watch. Its perch overlooks water where flashes reveal opportunity. From bare branches, height becomes an energy-saving weapon. Below, the shoreline offers prey within diving range. The bird waits where open air meets open water. When movement shows, broad wings release it downward. It drops through light, matching speed to the target. Low flight keeps the strike aligned with the surface. A landing perch lets it reset before feeding. Balance comes first when talons must hold their prize. Another pass skims the lake with dangerous precision. Then wings break hard, turning speed into control. A pair shares the territory that feeds their nest. On the stump, food is guarded from rivals. The catch is handled where footing gives better leverage. Near the nest, vigilance continues even after success. With the meal secured, flight becomes safer than waiting. Another perch lifts the prize away from challengers. Downriver, smaller hunters turn color into speed. The eaters wait for insects riding the war mare. A bare twig becomes a launch pad for precision flight. Each lookout scans above the sand for passing prey. Below, the bank holds burrows that anchor the colony, and every return brings the hunter back to safety. Around them, the air fills with quick departures. One bird waits still, conserving energy for the dash. On the ground, numbers reduce the risk of landing. Perches keep each bird close to open escape. The colony spreads where sandy soil can hold nests. Bright feathers hide no purpose. Agility is their defense. Nearby, a lioness crosses the same feeding landscape. Larger hunters rule the ground by strength and presence. In the heat, rest stores power for darkness. The pride waits, letting the day spend itself. Stillness is not peace, only energy being saved. A male scans ahead before choosing any movement. Sleep deepens, but danger never fully leaves them. Across the plain, the pride holds contested ground. Prey keep distance, measuring lions against open space. A cheetah passes through, built for a different chase. Back at the river, nests mark long-held hunting rights. Below those territories, crocodiles resume the silent watch. Barely submerged, they use still water as cover. And at the bank, thirst pulls antelope closer. The surface parts just enough to reveal intent. A lifted head turns reflection into a warning. On land, armored bodies gather heat for endurance. Each reptile can wait longer than hunger suggests. Near the channel, the ambush line stays open. Water hides bulk until only stillness seems present. Together they occupy the banks that prey must visit. Their patience makes the crossing dangerous long before attack. Beyond the river, impala move as one alert body. Shade offers relief, but it also thickens concealment. Each head lift tests whether the grass has changed. One male holds the edge, exposed and listening. At water, the need to drink lowers every guard. Browsing higher keeps some vision, while mouths keep working. The herd shifts, never trusting one patch for long. When one moves, the others read the signal. Deeper cover gives food, yet hides the hunters. As a group, they turn attention into protection. Still water draws them back despite the risk. And under the bank, a predator waits directly below. Only the crocodile's eyes need to break the surface. Behind them, a jostle of teeth explains the strategy. The head drifts slowly, hiding force beneath calm water. One ripple marks the route of a moving ambush. Then the body emerges, heavy and fully committed. Back in water, the outline disappears again. At sunset, the river turns concealment into gold. Nearby, hippos claim space, no crocodile easily contests. Their bulk makes the channel a crowded refuge. A search reminds rivals that calm water has rules. Out on the flats, cheetahs trail moving herds. They keep distance until certainty can justify a sprint. Elsewhere, wild dogs turn cooperation into survival. The pack's young gather close around the lesson. Adults return with energy that binds the group, and hunger drives them onward. At the den, wild dog pups gather around protection. Their world begins in a restless pile of adults, and every returning body reinforces the pack's fragile order. A watchful adult listens, while the pups stay hidden. Play and begging now test the bonds that feed them. Even fallen branches become shelter around this crowded nursery. One adult breaks away, checking the grass beyond, but the young still anchor the pack to home. Close vigilance replaces speed, while the heat builds. Rest is brief, because hunger will soon move them. When the pack rises, discipline turns numbers into force. Their faces reveal focus before the chase begins. Out in the grass, one scout tests the wind. Near water, the pack reads tracks an opportunity. Every pause asks whether a sprint is worth spending. Then they travel together, each dog keeping formation. Across open ground, cooperation keeps them dangerous and alive. Above them, cliff springers survive by choosing unreachable stone. Their cliffs trade speed for balance and warning. On narrow ledges, a single step must be exact. From the high rock, danger can be seen early, and the pair stays close to share each alarm. Resting high, they save energy without losing sight. Every lookout position leaves one escape route open. When they descend, feeding becomes a careful compromise. The shadows hold safety until hunger draws them out. Now mother and youngster graze where cover is near. One feeds while the other keeps the watch. On the rock face, their hooves find impossible grip. A lifted head reads the same exposed country. The antelope vanish again into thorn and shade. Their stillness matters as much as any sprint. A lowered head hides tension behind quiet feeding. Stone remains their stronghold against heavier hunters below. And the young learn which gaps lead back upward. In the trees, vervets hold a higher refuge. Young monkeys practice balance before confidence truly arrives. For them, Branches are roads and emergency exits. Each climb keeps feeding within reach of escape. On the ground, however, the rules change quickly. A lone youngster pauses, measuring risk before moving, where fallen food tempts the troop into the open. A fallen harvest draws attention, but exposure rises. Small rewards are gathered fast before alarm spreads. Back in the leaves, young bodies regain safety. An adult stands guard, while others search below. The troop spreads out, using many eyes at once. Grooming then restores trust within the same family. Even while feeding, a verve keeps scanning outward, because every quiet branch may suddenly need speed. The canopy lets the troop feed, without surrendering height. Nearby hornbills claim the upper woodland in another way. Their heavy bills reach into places smaller beaks cannot, and every perch becomes a station for inspection. Among dense leaves, the bird searches for concealed food. Its bill probes hollows where insects and young may hide. The watchful male returns to the same guarded route. Short flights keep him close to valuable trees. Old trunks offer cavities, shelter, and breeding chances. From each perch, he checks the woodland again. The pattern repeats, movement measured and purposeful. Inside the hollow, concealment becomes the first defense. Outside, the adult waits where threats must pass. A dark shape slips back toward the nest entrance, and repeated visits reveal a hidden family investment. Beyond the trees, the grassland opens once more. A small antelope stands, where cover begins to thin. Its wide ears turn faint sounds into warning. Low in the brush, caution becomes invisibility. The same cover hides movement until the last moment. When it steps out, every direction is checked, and even feeding happens with muscles ready. Oxpeckers ride the hide, harvesting ticks as payment. Such partnerships let grazers trade tolerance for relief. The birds keep feeding while the antelope listens. A raised head shows the arrangement has limits. From above, safe cover looks thin and scattered. Below, the young still feeds close to protection. Hyenas enter the story where weakness has a scent. Their patience is rough, but perfectly adapted to scarcity. One follows the track, testing what the night left behind. Others move through grass where rank decides first access. As a carcass, every bite begins with negotiation. Close pressure turns feeding into a contest of nerve. Shade offers cover, but not escape from competition. At shrinking water, thirst exposes even cautious hunters. The clan regroups where scrub and opportunity meet. Young hyenas learn hierarchy at the den's edge. After feeding, a watcher keeps the family's ground, and rest returns only when the pressure eases. Out on the flats, a cheetah crosses open herds. Speed is useless until distance and surprise align. Zebras stand together, turning many bodies into warning. So the cheetah keeps walking, waiting for weakness. As pursuit fades, wet edges gather scavenging birds. Roots and mud hold birds beside the last pools. The plains fill again with grazers reading one another. Zebras and antelope share alarms across the grass. This mixed herd buys safety through collective attention. But a leoparding cover changes the calculation. Cracked earth shows how drought narrows every choice. A lone hunter crosses the bare riverbed. From above, roots reveal hunger moving through space. Near elephants, zebras borrow safety from giants. An elephant's bulk reshapes the ground around smaller lives. Giraffes reach what drought leaves beyond most mouths. Across the plain, movement follows old reliable corridors. Dry channels wait like scars for returning water. Then the landscape softens as water spreads again. River pools redraw the map for birds and mammals. A hornbill's vigil gives way to open sky. High above, a raptor takes the watch forward. Its wings turn distance into a hunting advantage. Across the hills, it searches without touching ground, and the next watch begins from a living perch. From the branches, a raptor keeps the day under watch. Its stillness conserves energy while the forest moves below. Feathers then reveal how nature shapes color and display, and human culture borrows that power for its own stories. Beyond the shelter, another watcher surveys the open scrub. Wetlands gather birds where shallow water concentrates food. Resting between feeds, long legs keep the body dry. Such height helps waders work muddy ground without sinking. Broad bills sweep sideways, feeling for life beneath water, and feeding together makes every disturbance easier to read. Large flocks turn exposed shallows into shared protection. When one bird rises, the whole surface seems alert, yet solitary hunters still claim space for precise strikes. From above, the pools show how many paths converge. Hippos rest in water as grazers gather nearby. At the boundary, wild movement meets human lines. Dry grass gives baboons cover, but never complete safety. A lion rests now, saving force for opportunity. Elephants thread the woodland, following remembered routes. Seen from above, the habitat becomes a patchwork of chances. Within that cover, a lioness turns invisibility into advantage, while open ground lets larger animals keep danger distant. Sparse woodland keeps every movement broken and difficult to read. Tall grass hides bodies, making sense and sound matter. The region's mammals reveal the depth of this refuge, and its birds expand the story far beyond mammals. As light drops, silhouettes take over from detail. Drier ground reminds every herd why movement is essential. Where grass returns, antelope spread out to reduce risk. At the margins, cover offers food and uncertainty. Families move together, keeping calves inside a living wall. At water, mixed herds trade hunger against exposure. Zebra stripes blur individual outlines in the crowd. Human observers keep distance, while the animals decide theirs. From above, tracks reveal how vast this refuge is. Scattered cover lets antelope feed without losing sightlines. Mixed herds regroup, sharing vigilance across the dry ground. A lioness waits low, reading weakness through the grass, and the male holds the dusk with quiet authority.